Okay, so here we are in the E-Powersport garage, which is, yes, it is my personal garage. We're actually trying to find you guys a really solid venue that we can do just incredible things with. I don't want to get into it here. I want to get into the teardown that we're gonna do, or as I like to really call them, the disassembly video we're gonna do on my personal e-Enduro here. So this is one of our Thoroughbred models. This is an 8 kilowatt. It comes with a 150 amp capable controller, along with a 41.6 amp hour, 72 volt, in this case, a LG battery pack. This one, this is mine. It does have a D&M rear, has a nice KKE front set of shocks. I've also put my own Cloud9 saddle on it, which I highly recommend. Most all of our bikes come with nice, cushy, big, thick saddles. Some of the sportier ones come with a sports saddle. But when you look at getting a new saddle, if you want something super comfortable, not only do I highly recommend Cloud9, I have the paperwork to sign up as a dealership, as a dealer for Cloud9 as soon as we have our location. So we will be selling these. They're amazing, not crazy expensive seats, and probably one of my favorite in my whole life. I think they're just amazing. They're just awesome. So we're gonna take this thing apart real quick. We're gonna go ahead and take the battery out. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect that whole mangled mess back in the back there, you can see, from the controller box. And then we're gonna do a separate video, or I guess I should say I'm gonna do a separate video, where I relace that to the new rim, which I have right here. As you can see, we got the new rim, we got the new spokes and nipples, and we're just gonna hook this up. I mean, it's not hard. It does take a little time. It takes a little doing. It takes a little patience. It's probably the hardest part with truing a rim, is that most people don't have the patience to do it. So once you do get it on there, you get it rolling, take your time. You know, think about it like this. The extra little bit of time you take to true this rim and make sure that it's actually straight and not wobbly is time that you're not gonna spend dead. Because if this rim is wobbly and you're doing 40, 50 miles an hour, or you run 0 to 50 in a few seconds, then you're gonna notice it and it's gonna be an issue. So we'll get to that. I'm gonna be doing that relace, real simple stuff. Grin, great guys, Grin Technology has some great tutorials on it too if you wanna check their stuff. It's awesome. And yeah, so I did not expect to just jump right in and do this. I just kicked the camera on to check the lighting and just figured, you know, go. So I'm gonna stop it now and then get my tools and stuff together, and we're gonna take this thing apart. Is it recording? It's recording. I hit the cinema button. Okay, so this is actually day 2, take 2. And if Hartley gets out of the way, I will walk into, will you back up in front of the camera? Thank you. Gosh. What? Misheard dog. So, I just got back from riding the little burro. Love this thing. It's a great bike. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna move the camera, even though I'm not supposed to in cinema mode. It's gonna be all janky, but our little burro is awesome. This thing, it's only a 500 watt rear motor, little motor back there, but man, it just chugs along. The speedometer says I'm only doing 23, but the GPS said 33. So I think like many of the e-bikes and stuff, there's just a slight variance in the speedometer versus, really not that much, because it did read 28 at the high point, I think, for me. And so I guess that would be right, about 5 miles per hour off on average. Just seems better. Sometimes better algorithms, stuff we find with some of the motorcycles as well. But that's not what we're here for today. Today we're gonna take a look at that bike right there. That's our Thoroughbred e-Enduro. And as you can kind of see, that back wheel looks a little wonky. I need some better light on that for you. I mean, you can see a little better in the camera. But it is just all kinds of busted up, right? And I'm actually gonna get some other video angle from, so I'm gonna do that right now. This one. Let me get the video set. 6. There we go. And so, like you can see, this rim is completely busted up. What happened was there wasn't enough room as I came into an intersection, or came through an intersection, I should say, for me to squeeze in along next to the car and the curb. And so instead of running into the back of the SUV, I ran into the curb. And I didn't realize it at the time. I was so gripped up about this piece. Because, I mean, obviously you see the rear hub motor like this, you're like, oh, my rim. That I did not see this. There's actually a bend where I still, even though I was able to get the front wheel up, I still hit the corner curve. It was a really big curve. So I guess what I have to do is, for the front, I should be able, because it's a steel rim, I should be able to pound this out with a rubber mallet. Or if you don't have a rubber mallet, something you can do is take like a piece of wood and just lay it across there and just hammer on it. Okay, I gotta get the keys for this one too. Hammer on it until that goes flat. It's not the best way to do it. The best way would be to take it in and have a motorcycle shop flatten that out for you, retrue the wheel, make sure that it's all set up right that way. But I'm just gonna do it my garage style today. So I really don't feel like taking it in. I just want to fix it and ride it. It's been 3 months now since this thing broke, since I broke it. I felt so bad that I punished myself, waited a month, finally got the rim and the spokes and the nipples, put it together, and then just had so much to do with the business and stuff lately, other people's repairs, that I just have not been able to get to it. Now I'm finally able to get to it, and I'm excited because I love riding this bike. I mean, I cannot explain to you how much I love riding this bike. It has been hard to see it every day sitting out here not running, and I'm way excited to get into it and start putting it together and get it fixed. So I've got the rim. I'm going to relace that. I'm going to do a video to show you basically how to relace it. I'm not going to get into the whole truing part of this because that's going to be, I mean, it's not going to be difficult. I can probably show you because I'm just going to do zip ties on the arm here. And so just do it simply. I don't have a truing rack to put it up on, so it isn't over that. But I've been looking at them and we're looking at getting them. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we're gonna take this apart and I'm gonna use this opportunity as the disassembly, and we're just gonna tear into it and see what it's made of. Get the, let me do those things. It's toasty in here today. What's up, Barbar? So Harley, the other day, hurt herself when she was going for a walk. I wanna say that word right, because if I say it right, she freaks out. But basically, she kind of hurt her leg. Her toenails got chipped. I don't have any of those little caps right now to go over them. I would cap them off for her. But she is a stubborn dog. She doesn't, I mean, it hurts. You can tell she's limping, but she still wants to go out. She still wants to play. As far as she's concerned, it's an inconvenience more than anything. So. Ooh, I can finally replace this one because I have a bunch of these now. So that's exciting. So we're just gonna open this up. I'm gonna show you guys the battery. I'll put this thing's almost stripped out. I definitely don't want to use it again. And I got like a handful of them they sent me with one of the other customers' bikes, which by the way, you're gonna see that coming out here too. You probably already see it by now. Is our assembly video for one of our customers' bikes. He and his girlfriend or friend, we're gonna put that, are sharing it. It's a 5 kilowatt. They enjoyed it while they could ride it, but unfortunately, you know, as happens, life happens, and the charger got dropped, and because I didn't have a second charger for it, popped the breaker, basically the power breaker, for when it hits full charge. So he plugs it in, we plug it in, and then you hear it go tuck tuck, and it just pops. So unfortunately that means you're gonna have to get a new charger unless we can find one or fix that one. So I'm not into where I want to be opening up chargers for people to fix them at this point. I think that's a little more electrical than I want to get right now. I like being mathematical. So here we go. So here's the little algebraic, you know what I'm talking about. So here is our battery in the Thoroughbred. This one happens to be upgraded. This is one of our upgrade options. In this case, we didn't get the Samsung or the Panasonic, but surprisingly, we ended up with the LG. So this is the LG battery pack in here. And you can see in there we got some foam and the alarm. Oh neat, I was able to, I didn't even grab the keys. We have this stuff up here. I'm not even recording it. There we go. Wasn't recording it. Alright, so there's the LG battery pack with the alarm in there. Right there. We have the wiring comes out, connects in here. We have the Anderson clip, which a lot of people prefer these XT90s or XT60s. I prefer Anderson clips. So my first career long-term job was in a warehouse, and we had lead acid battery forklifts, reach lifts, all kinds of things like that, and they use these Anderson clips. And so there's not on here, but you can actually get a little handle that attaches these because they are hard to pull on and off. But man, when these connect, there's no way to connect them wrong. I mean, you can't, the way they're made, you cannot plug them in correctly. And they carry a lot of amperage. They're really, really good for that. I mean, I think the ones we were using on ours were the 150 amp clips. So these are 120s, which means our system here, and if you do the math from the wires we have listed here, or shown here, you'll see this does 110 amps total, which if you multiply 110 by 72, you'll get just under 8 kilowatts. So that's what it gets at its peak. So we're going to take this one out, and then it is a little difficult. It's kind of a pain. I should actually take the other side off, and then yeah, get it out of there. Ooh, spilling stuff now. They're not sponsoring this, but the fact I can still do it is brought to you by Mountain Dew Rise. Because I'll tell you, man, 3-hour ride on the little burro. It's not even dead yet. I'm a little tired. That's the thing, I swear. It's such a good little investment, really. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love riding the Thoroughbred, and when I'm out on this thing, people just, I mean, they stop. They're like, what is that? Yeah, especially because this one does have the 8 kilowatt motor, and I have, even with my weight, been able to get it up to 210 miles, or sorry, that's wrong. I was thinking of how much I weigh, 210. I was able to get it up to 63 miles. I think if I remember, I'd have to check one of the other videos from when I was riding it last, but I think I got it to 64 at one point on the GPS, which is really cool. So let's see here. So if you have one of these, especially these models, the Thoroughbred and the Arabian, I find it's a lot easier to take both side panels off in order to get the batteries out and stuff. The customer's Thoroughbred, the 5 kilowatt that we have the video for, the assembly video for, was a little cramped in here because the additional controller that's been added for the wireless alarm and the lights and everything, that kind of you might call a street controller, control all the stuff for the street, ended up being pretty large, and with the battery pack it was hard to really fit it in there well. So we did end up getting it in there, and it did kind of require us to take both sides off as well to work through the panel, work through the body. But yeah, everybody so far that I've talked to that gets one of these loves it. I mean, even though they're not upset, but they're disappointed because the chargers broke. They broke the charger, and so they can't charge it. They still love riding it, which is great. And hopefully, you know, we can get that charger issue taken care of for them, because I like seeing people out on these. I think the more other people see everyone else out riding these things, the more they're gonna want one. The more they want one, the more likely they are to get one and ride it. If they keep riding, oh, let me get the keys before I set off the alarm again. Whew, it could be bad. Actually, it's not bad, it wouldn't do anything. Whew. So why is it important that people get excited about these? I mean, especially these ones are important. It can actually be used as an alternate form of transportation. So this one, especially because of its higher speed capabilities, will allow you to get around town just as fast, and in some cases a lot faster than a car. And I'm not talking about being a jerk, right, when you drive. I'm not talking when you ride. I'm not talking about like cutting people off or running through stoplights. Its ability to accelerate and keep up with traffic is right there. Its ability to beat most traffic is right there too. So yes, it's an interesting ride, and I think if you ride it correctly, there's no problem, right? It's the people that abuse it. It's the people that are out there doing 80, 90, okay, realistically 60, 70 on one of these things, and thinking that's okay, and that, you know, being a jerk and ripping around town isn't going to be an issue. It is. You know, people don't want that. You need to ride responsibly, just like people in cars need to drive responsibly. Oh, which, by the way, whoo, man, people just do not pay attention. I almost got some lady in a Lexus FX, those little hatchback ones. She pulls up in the right-hand turn lane, and I'm in the, you know, the going straight lane with the car going straight next to me. And as I take off, she goes, and just goes, hey, oh, that's nice of you. No, please, orphan my kids. Seriously, people, when you're driving, pay attention to the bicyclists, pay attention to the motorcyclists, pay attention to those of us who don't have a 2,000 to 4,000 pound vehicle wrapped around us that we probably shouldn't be driving in the first place. That's right, I said it. You know why? Because when that's interesting. I said it because when I drove Lyft, I drove around so many people with so much anxiety about driving. I love to drive. I'm a driver. I mean, I literally drive a Fiat 500X 6-speed turbo and race it against Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and yes, I keep up. So, shit. I jump over my soda because I'm not paying attention. But the point is that most people wouldn't. Most people would rely on the car rather than the driver. And so that's not what you want to do. So see, I disconnected the charge cable. I disconnected the main power cable. And I'm just taking the battery out. It's not a big deal. It's real simple. Real heavy. Oh, here's. So this one is, like I said, let's get up here. Oh, you see this one? There we go. Okay, so you can see this is the LG. Coming off 3200. It's not, yeah, 3200. So not bad. It's actually, good. Probably 40 pounds. So, let's go. Wait. So, there is the most hazardous component taken out of the bike. So now I'm going to say, most people will be like, oh, well, that's great. Now you just do everything. No, because this thing right here weighs. So that weighs like 40 pounds. I think the hub motor weighs like 60. And you feel it when you're working on it. And that's why we had to come up with a new rig for this bike. So, let's see here. Sorry, I don't mean to ignore anybody there in camera land. Over there in the GoPro. and get this angle video here. So I'm taking the battery pack out, I've taken the stuff, other stuff out. You see it's very minimal here, right? We just have some cords, power cords. Yeah, it's cool it uses a 3-pack. That's an interesting setup for that because it needs some good flow. It needs a setup for the flow that the battery pack can provide. That battery pack, I think, is 120 amp. And so the bottleneck is the wiring, but the controller keeps that in check as well, because if you don't, you're gonna catch things on fire. And well, sometimes, I know the seat's here, but I like to ride right here sometimes. And if this catches fire, it's literally gonna roast my testicles, and I don't like that. I don't like that idea. Bad idea. What are you doing over there, Harley? You checking out the burrow? Look at you, Gimpy. This makes me feel bad to see her like this. Oh, baby. You can go lay down. Get you the Cosequin stuff, whatever that is. Alright, so we got the battery pack out. The next thing we're gonna need to do is drop the controller box, disconnect the controller, pardon me, cut all the zip ties that connect this into the bike, or hold on to the bike, and pop this wheel off. So to do that, I'm gonna do something I kind of don't want to do, because, well, the way this wheel is, I don't want to hang in like that. I don't want to use it to roll, so I'm gonna do it sideways. Oh, it's gonna be rough. Okay, Harley, watch out, get, come on. Come on, shoo. Get you out of the way. All right. That's gonna work. Okay. Hang on a second. Still some weight. Make sure to roll the display out of the way. That's something I always do. Now this is where it gets interesting, because this is a pivot. If you don't balance it right, you're gonna fuck up your dog. And by that I mean my literal dog. I drop it on her. And I don't want to do that. You're gonna fuck up your dog. Oh, she keeps moving. Stay still. Alright. So, 2 reasons I flipped it upside down. One is just a lot easier to work on. Especially with the weight of this bike. I miss riding this thing. Two, when I undo the screws here, it'll be easier to pop this off and disconnect everything. And no, we're not playing. And take that all apart. So, yeah, so I'll take that off. Take these out. I'll take that off. The motor's free. I can take all this stuff off it and get it ready to relace with a new rim. This thing is going to be fun because, as I showed you in that other thing, it's not a big dent. It's just a little divot, and it's only there on the ones. Oh no, it's on both sides. Man, I'm surprised that just didn't blow. Just lighten up. So with that one, I'm probably out of view with this, but it's okay. Mallet. So for this, I mean, basically that's what I would do. Just stand here and be like, oh, looks pretty good. And you would probably just, there we go, bang. Oh, hit my nipple. There we go. Rubber mallets. Not just good for breaking fingers. I mean, hammering out rims. All kinds of uses. Oh, man. Anyway, okay, so that looks good actually. That was a lot better and a lot easier than I thought it would be. Of course, this rim is jacked. Oh yeah. Rim's totally out of whack. So, and there's still gonna be a pucker there, but still be able to pound it in enough. You don't like that stuff, huh? Stop beating on it. See, and I was just gonna kind of do this with but it's not wanting. The rear wheel's all totally jacked. This one's a little, oh, it actually bent the rim up. You stop. You stop. Tell me you stop, you stop. Stop. It didn't blow out, but it's definitely loose. Or really loose. Just right there. Wow, they're all loose. Oh, right there at least. See, having a little divot's not bad, but this. See in there. Wait. All right. Not quite there. That one's a lot better. That one, I mean, there's still. This is not how I fix customers' rooms. Just so we're clear. If you come to me for a room fix, we'll take it to a place if I don't have the tools to get it done. But Harley, back off. You're gonna get hit in the face. God, dog. Yeah. Tighten these down. That should help bring it into true, but man, I'm gonna have to. Damn, I'm gonna take it off. Get a better angle on it. That's why it's loose. That whole rim is fucked. Pardon me. The rim is actually dented in as well as out. And unfortunately, in is not repairable. I might be able to get away with driving it, but I'd just be risking blowing it out. So, get a new rim for that one. In the meantime, we'll take this off, get it all disconnected, and get it ready to go. So, let's see here. That's why they're so loose too, is because you can see how it weights it. They're loose because it goes down. I mean, I might be able to. That's so good, right? Oh. I mean, I keep it under 60. 140. Things I hit a big enough bump, it's gonna blow that tire out right out the side of that thing. Side of that opening. There we go. Dokey. Okay. So don't you watch me pound on that thing. We had the battery disconnected so that there's no charge. We're good there. Start clipping these. Oh, I gotta disconnect that in there. pretty sure it's just the main wire hookups. I don't think there's any ancillary hookups into that. I guess we'll find out. Where's my phone? Video. What do I do with that thing? Oh, we're all about that right now. Boom. Okay. Well. What the? Oh man, I'll tell you. Some days. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty. Don't know what I did. So, can't find my phone. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Put on tools. Okay. Video. Okay, so here I have it flipped upside down. You can see that. Tried pounding this out a bit, but it's just not. And part of it's because it dips down. That was obvious. It became more obvious when I checked the spokes. They were really loose. So probably not gonna work that well, but I might be able to ride it in somewhere and then be able to fix it. Or the nice thing about the front wheel is it is a lot easier to change than the back wheel. The back wheel, these things are a pain to put it nicely. But yeah, if you blow a tire on this 60+ pound weight in the back, does not make it fun at all. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up this. We're going to get in a controller box, disconnect it, put these zip ties that go holding it to everything, and then we'll disconnect undo the bolts, nuts and bolts, just slide it off. I should put this here. Ooh, excuse me. Burp. Alright. I will say, looking in this part is where it doesn't necessarily have the best wire management. I mean, a lot of things are just crammed in these controller boxes areas. Just because it's just wires, and so a lot of times the wires are longer than they need to be, so that puts a little extra stuff in here. Also, you have to look at how these run, because there's like a brake cable runs right through under here, and don't sit on it, right? You're gonna crimp your hydraulic brake cable. Not a fun time. Alright, there we go. See, I know one of these is on here real tight. Alright, if I can only tighten down one, super tight. This one. Okay, there's this for, and it doesn't matter the side panel nuts or the little screws or the bottom box little screws, because they're all the same size. So. Go. Oh. This is the fun, not fun part. Okay. What I'm gonna do here, just sit on the side. See, there's a lot of wires there. Here's the controller, the Sabaton, as you can see. Boom. We have just those three, right? Yeah, just those three. I wrap some electrical tape, so I'll have to remove that. That goes into the batteries. Okay. Let's go ahead. Actually, grab a blade and cut this tape. Be interesting is I'll have to rewrap it or shrink it with some plastic shrink because otherwise it's not waterproof. Okay, so Harley, you gotta lay there, puppy. That's where you go listen. Yeah, you just do whatever you want. Harley just does what she wants. So be really careful if you do take a blade in here, not to hit the wires up. You know, that's something that happens a lot on accident. As far as get reaching here with a knife, next thing you know, they're like, uh-oh. What? So, might dull your blade, but I would rather have my blade hitting against that, right? Case the box here. So, just that. Okay. There's those three, are now free. So we get Philip's head. Go ahead and unscrew those. Big Phillips head screw. I don't get some more Phillips heads. You do not make this easy, Harley. You gotta be kidding me. Interesting. Is it? It is. That's really small. Huh. Okay. Well. Wow. Those ones up. Holy crud. Holy wow. Okay. It's not as easy as I thought it might be. So. Interesting. Let's go with. Let's see that. It's too big. Shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's in there really good. Or you're not making this easy. Shit. Alright. Well, I have to make sure I keep that cap around somehow. See, here comes the problem in trying to get this off is even though I'm in there, I can't get enough leverage. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on those wires. Wow. Like solder that on or something? Holy crud. I cannot even get that to budge. Wow, that is wrong there. Okay, let's see here. That's really on there. Let's see. A power drill, but I don't want to mess it up. That's pretty WD-40 on. Let's see. I should use the drill. Where did those bits go? I moved them over here, I think. So it's really stuck on there. And I'm looking for, I thought I had the bits right around here somewhere. Ironically, I did just clean this up and had some of the bigger stuff away. Those things. Because they were on top of this, so I definitely moved them. Man. Yeah, these aren't easy to work on. Let's put it that way. They're difficult. There's always something. Like in this one. It's like, oh. But we're not gonna bust out the full power wheel. Huh? Where are they? Over here somewhere? No. Over there? No. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, that's right. I did put them over there. Okay. Okay, Harley, you need to move up. Let's see. That's a big one, isn't it? There we go. That fits. Okay. Definitely make sure you get the right size screwdriver head, because this is not something you want to strip, okay? They're doing really well. I mean, they heat, they cool, they heat, they cool, so I expect them to be pretty stuck in there, pretty tight, so. How do I do this to myself? I set things down where I don't need to. So here, yeah. Alright, so here we go. This one. This one. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like I did break I didn't break it, I broke the plastic holder piece off my charging port. So let's try not to do that. That's okay. Oh boy. Yellow, green, blue, yellow. Remember that? Green, blue, yellow. Oh no. There are other ones that are attached. Okay. This one isn't attached at all. That's interesting. I wonder what that is. So this one is, so it is this. Go into, oh, that's the cable sensor. Okay. So, oh man, I should grab one. Sorry, I got my back to you guys. It's bad form, I know. I'm gonna try to step out of the way. And hardly get out of the way. At least I could just do that. This bike for me though, it's like I just gotta get it fixed so I can get out there riding again. I miss it so much. It's in ya. It really does. Alright, last battery died. At least I think it died. The GoPro might have overheated, but it's taking me a little longer on this one than I thought. That's usually the case though, isn't it? Alright, so we got the controller disconnected. I have some close-up video I'm gonna clip in. And speaking of clipping, I'm gonna go through and clip all these zip ties. And you make sure you get all the zip ties off. We find there. And then the bolts, I think one is at 18, one's at 24. So a combination of those. Get that out. Oh, big wrench. Here's my big wrench. There's my big wrench. Oh. Yeah, I don't know who hates it more, my wife or the dog. Being weird. And she attacks me just the same way my wife's like, hey, you shut up. I'm kidding. She does say that. Alright, so 18's on the bikes. That's right, I have to get the 24-inch socket. My bad. So these ones are 24s, and I do have to get that big socket. 24. And where is my lock star? Another torque wrench around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh, that's a quarter. Half-inch torque. Anyway, better get to this before the GoPro says no. So, actually, before I do this, I gotta do that real quick. Let me go ahead and clip. Ooh, those dirty ones. Fly again, life could be so pretty. Now, I sing it. YouTube isn't gonna like say that's a copyright issue, right? Because I sang it that time. I don't know how that works. That's not true. I know how that works. I was like saying it. They do the snippies. What are those? Some things I just am not organized like I need to. It's broken anyway. Bet they're over here. Now you can't say that's a copyright thing, YouTube, because I'm making this up off the top of my head right now. So if you start claiming copyright on this one, call some no-no. Oh man, so I organized this stuff. I rearranged it all. Now I don't know where anything is. Isn't that the way? It's like, as soon as you organize it, rearrange it, now you can't find anything. Man. Alright. This is why, actually, what's funny is, when my wife organizes stuff, I have to find it the first few times, but I don't know where the other snips are right now. I will just use these wire cutters. But usually she's so logical that I just know where stuff will be. You know. So I'm trying not to cut the wire as much as I am just the clip. So there we go. Dang. This is why I want the snips. The snips just do that so much easier. Okay. Oh jeez. Yeah, I should get the snips. I don't want this to become an issue. do, I have got to stop keeping some of this stuff. My wife wants this to make crafts. I think it's great. But takes room. Did I think on side or something? All right, so as I mentioned, my wife and her crafts, that's exactly where they were. She obviously had stuff she wanted to do. So a lot of times I'll take the kickstand off. Today I'm not gonna worry about it. See how much easier that is? Oh, you just be careful not to clip the wire. You'll be fine. It just pops right off. It's stuck right there. So, all right. And this one. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that one's close too, because that goes to the brake. So you know you messed up the brake if all of a sudden you get a bunch of oil squirting on you. Yeah, then you did something wrong. So that's going to be my indicator. As long as oil doesn't go spewing all over me, we're good. Ooh, oh wow. See, I haven't taken some of these off. Oh no, I put these ones back on, that's right. I did have a blowout that I had to fix, which led me to a really interesting point of, so you're gonna feed the wire back through, be careful. So you have a cadence wire there. I don't like rub that too much. Break that thing. Oh, this is gonna get tricky. Okay, so looks like what you need to do, because you have these caps, right? So pull actual power wires through first. Power control wires, right? Feed these time. Let's not like to go through there. Careful. Of course. Wow, this one actually doesn't fit. There we go. Nope. I thought it was the same size, but I guess it's not. Maybe. There we go. So, if it doesn't fit through one way, twist it around, and maybe it fits through another way. Alright, here. Oh man. That's where I'm getting my first charge on metal or something weird. Don't surprise me. Okay. So there you go. So now I got the motor completely disconnected from the bike, except for the rear motor mounts. As soon as I remove those, it's gonna pretty much just slide right off into my hands. I think I'm gonna do Allen bolts first. It's got the little torque locking Allen bolts. Oh, it's gonna be, I think these are not too bad. Where are they? Nope. Okay. I wonder if you guys can hear my daughter inside playing her music. Very likely you can hear her playing her music very loudly. That's how she likes it. Just like her old man, loud music. I think we're deaf, but we're not. What is that? Oh, I see. Okay. I actually have to loosen this up. So it looks like the Allen screw has a little bit of a issue. Torque arm is actually resting on it. There we go. Get the lockers off first. Then you can actually remove the actual nut. And it might seem weird to do it this way, right? Rather than some other way. Those are off. So now, doing that to stop, loosen that torque, or the torque nut up, torque screw, torque bolt, whatever you want to call it, is the arm looks like it's grinding on it as I'm unscrewing it. So the arm is set like into it. It's not good. Okay. Right. It's just right. There we go. So, that's better. That's what I was worried about. I was seeing all this silver. I was like, oh shoot. Doesn't feel like it's cross-threaded, because that would just come out. But, yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. I like to try and keep everything together from where it came out. So like all the tire bolts and stuff go over here, and all the tools for it are kind of ambiguous, you might say. Alright, so we're good there. Now, I just have to take this off all the way. Push it in. Oh, that's right. Really? Okay. There we go. Now, it's one part, and hopefully I don't drop it on the foot. Oh, there we go. Freewheel. Yeah. Done. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot more to do. But, as you can see, wheels off, got it all ready. Yeah, so now comes the fun part. I gotta get this rubber off the rim, which I got the spoons for. And then, yeah. Put the rest back together. Fun stuff. But that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead. The next thing we're gonna do is I'll pretty much just get that taken apart down to the hub motor. Take the rubber off, take the tube out, undo all the nipples that are left because it's blown. I mean, it's blown out. Yeah, definitely blown out. Let me stand in front of the camera for you. You can see here. And yeah, the cinema mode does not like when you move. I've noticed that on some other stuff. Oh, shoot. There. So you can see how badly that thing blew out. And that's what happens when that 60 pounds rips basically right through the rim when you hit it. Going like, I think it was like doing 30, 35. I'm actually really lucky. That's all that happened. I killed myself doing it. Could have been a lot worse, especially being down on the Las Vegas Strip like that. So